Hey guys, what's going on? So we're about 6 months away from the Galaxy S25, so I thought this would be a good time to go ahead and take a look at the S24, see how it's holding up, especially now that this phone has had many updates which not only made the battery better, but also the camera. I just want to go over some of the things that this phone, just look how good it looks, man. I can't get over it. So, as I was saying, I want to go over some of the things that this phone does right that makes me want to pick it up over every other phone that I have, and believe me, I have a lot, okay? This phone is definitely the very high contender for phone of the year, at least in my opinion. Now, if you were waiting to buy this phone, now is literally the best time to do so because Samsung is giving you up to $750 of trading credit and a free storage upgrade, which means you can get this 512 gig S24 Ultra for just $550, which is kind of hilarious to think about because when it comes time to ordering the S25 Ultra, Samsung will give you more than $550 for this device whenever it comes time to trade in. Infinite money hack? Maybe. You tell me. So one of the real world benefits to the Galaxy S24 Ultra is just how above and beyond Samsung is going, even more so than Apple. For example, giving you 7 years of operating system updates, which isn't only good for, bang for your buck, but it's also good for your resale value. The display on the S24 Ultra still remains to be my favorite display on any phone that I've used. Yes, any phone. And it's not even close. Believe me when I say this, once you actually use this phone in person and really look at the display and actually use it, watch movies on it, watch content on it, it is so hard to go back to any other phone. We all know by now that it's anti-reflective, which allows you to keep that contrast and nice punchy colors regardless of the lighting around you. But it also has some real world use cases for it, such as whenever you're taking photos or videos outside, the viewfinder becomes so crystal clear that you perfectly see what you're going to take a photo of compared to other phones, which will show you just a ton of reflections and really get in the way of seeing. Watching HDR movies or really any content, of course, is going to be the absolute best. Like whenever I pick up any other phone that I have, the first thing I notice is, why is this display like that? Like, I wish I was exaggerating when I'm saying this, but I'm seriously not. All phones from now on need to have anti-reflective display. It just looks like the text and the photos and the videos are like on the display instead of under the display, or I should say under the glass, right? It looks like it's over the glass. It's remarkable. Taking a look at the Gorilla Armor glass that Samsung put into the S24 Ultra, it seems to be holding up perfectly well, literally. I don't have a single scratch on this display anywhere on this display, which is crazy because my 2-month-old iPhone 15 Pro Max already has 2 scratches on it. Yay, Apple. This phone, in my opinion, is like what a peak smartphone should look and feel like, from like the flat display to the beautiful titanium rails that are curved ever so subtly, and of course this gorgeous titanium gray color. Like whenever you look and use this phone, you can tell it means business. Now, battery life has been sort of a roller coaster. So when the phone first came out, it was great. I was getting around 7 hours, 45 minutes of battery life. And then, a few updates hit and then the battery life kind of tanked. That happens. But thankfully with the newest update, battery life has gotten pretty much just as good as it was from day one. So I'm still getting around 7.5 hours on average. And that's pretty darn good considering this display goes up to 2700 nits of brightness, which is just bonkers. Like I'm wearing glasses, it's sunny out, I can perfectly see the display, no issues at all. It is chef's kiss. Now, of course, battery life does depend on how you use your phone, and it even depends on your cell connection, which brings me on to my next point, the connectivity. Now look, I don't know what Samsung did with the modems on their phones, but I always have the best, not only connection, but data speeds with Samsung devices. Like the only time I never get connection, by the way, I'm in North Carolina using T-Mobile. The only place I don't have connection with T-Mobile that I've at least been to is the Appalachian Mountains when I'm camping with Bigfoot. Other than that, I have to actually physically try to get no service on my Samsung phones, which is crazy because I'm using T-Mobile on my other phones as well. Like for example, my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and God forbid I sneeze the wrong way, and that's it, connection gone. I don't know. That being said, this phone is dependable, and I love that because the last thing you want is to spend a whole lot of money on a phone and it has a bad modem and you can't make a call, which not only leads to obviously frustration, but it also leads to bad battery life and overheating. Overheating is something that I actually also don't notice with this phone. Now, that may be in part due to the hilariously large vapor chamber, which helps keep the phone cool, or it could be the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which is a amazing chip. Or it could obviously be like the mixture of those two, but whatever it is, this phone powers through. In comparison to my iPhone 15 Pro Max, when I went to Universal Studios down in Florida, I was taking a bunch of photos, a bunch of videos, the screen started dimming so much due to overheating that I could barely see what I'm trying to take a picture of because, well, first of all, not only is the display crazy reflective, but it also dimmed down, so the only thing I saw was a reflection of my face doing this, trying to look past the reflections to see if I'm taking a photo of what I want to take a photo of. Trust me, it's those little things. I know they seem little, I know you guys probably don't care about that, but trust me, when you use it on a day-to-day basis, you really start to appreciate this phone whenever you pick up other phones. Now, this phone is also Samsung's first phone with AI, and while it's cool, I never really found myself using it all that much. In fact, the only AI feature I use is Circle to Search, which isn't even exclusive to Samsung. Of course, it has stuff like giving you slow motion videos in your gallery whenever you're holding down on any video, regardless of the FPS you recorded that video with. But I can count on one hand how many times I've used that feature. Look, it's cool, but it's not one of those like big selling points. What I'm really excited for is the next generation or the next iteration of Galaxy AI, which is of course coming to the Galaxy Fold 6, the Galaxy Flip 6, and obviously the Galaxy S25 Ultra next year. Another thing I don't really use all that much, in fact I kind of forget that it's even there, is the S Pen. The only time I can really see myself using it personally, this is just like my opinion, my use case, is like if I'm taking a photo, like a group photo, I can put the phone up, up against the wall or on a tripod, and I can use the button on the S Pen to go ahead and take a photo or start a video like remotely. That feature is actually really good. Besides that, I don't really use it all that much. But I know there's a lot of die-hard fanboys out there for the S Pen. Look, I respect it. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying I don't really use it. So what about the cameras? I mean, is that even a question? Of course they're going to be great. It's a Galaxy S24 Ultra. Yeah, it's no surprise that camera performance is going to be simply amazing, especially after the updates which made it even better. Like, no matter what you take a photo of, no matter the lighting, it's going to have fantastic detail with punchy colors, and it's consistent. You don't have to worry about having random color differences if you take multiple photos of the same subject like you do on other phones. Even through different zoom ranges, the colors and the overall consistency remains. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you love taking photos and videos, this phone is going to be your best friend. Just don't tell that to your actual best friend. No need to ruin good relationships or friendships or both. The S24 Ultra, see, in my opinion, is like the best mature phone. Like, the bar is already set so high with this phone that it's actually insane. Like, it's insane that this phone exists. Like, the more you use it, the more you kind of know what I'm talking about. And since the bar is set so high, it's only gonna go up from here on out, which makes me even so much more excited for the S25 Ultra, which is, like I said, just, 6 months away? Oh boy, I cannot wait. And like I said, if you do get the S24 Ultra using the Samsung deals for $550, you can trade that phone in for more money. Like, I don't know how Samsung gets away with that. So what do you guys think about the S24 Ultra? Do you love it? Do you hate it? How has your experience been with the phone? Let me know. I'm kind of curious. I'm always curious to know what my subscribers and what just general people feel about tech, feel about a certain piece of tech. So yeah, don't be afraid. Leave me your comments down below. I don't bite that hard. Now, if you guys did enjoy today's video, definitely click that like button. It's absolutely free to you, but it helps me and the channel out a lot, and I always truly appreciate it. And hey, if you're new here and you like to see Galaxy coverage and other tech videos, definitely consider subscribing. This was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.